Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mondays at Microsoft, where we're going to break down the next 2 weeks across the Microsoft world for you, including Power Platform, modern work, AI, all the events that are happening in the community. And today, a special security spotlight from our guest host, Virginia Bryant. I'm Karuana Gatimu. I'm the director of the Microsoft 365 Customer Advocacy Group, and I'm joined by my good friend, Heather Cook.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It is Monday. We are back. Oh my goodness. Yes. Hi, Karuana.
I know. Happy Monday, Heather. Happy Monday. We are here. We are doing it. I'm super excited. That's the kickoff of the refreshment drinking game. That's the first time I said the word excited. If you're watching on LinkedIn, as we discuss topics, you will see the links in the plug. We have a blog post now, though, that is the best way to see all the links after the show. LinkedIn also gives you some live captioning. So if that's an accessibility thing that you would like to partake in, why hop over and view us on LinkedIn.
I know we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're on the Microsoft Tech community. We're all over the place. It's all good.
I have to make sure to stream to Facebook though, so my mother-in-law can see the show. I really need to get that hooked up again.
Absolutely.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, let's talk about this big rock because as always, it is so busy here at Microsoft. And our CEO, Satya Nadella, recently announced that Jay Parikh has joined Microsoft as a member of our senior leadership team. We call that the SLT. Jay was a global head of engineering at Facebook, which is now called Meta, and most recently CEO of Lacework. He has a very impressive track record and a unique combination of experience building and scaling technical teams that serve both commercial customers and consumer. This is brilliant. We want to welcome him to the Microsoft family. And he also has deep connections across the startup and VC ecosystems, which is so important for a technology company to really keep their finger on the pulse of everything that's happening in the ever exciting startup world, especially in this era of AI. So he's had so many other leadership roles as well. I know that he's going to bring a valuable perspective to the Microsoft family. And so he's going to spend some time immersing himself in our company, as these folks always do. You know, they do a listening tour, they meet people, they start to understand the actual culture inside our company. And making sure that he's meeting customers, right? That's probably the most important thing. If you ever take a new job someplace, follow this pattern, right? Listen to other people, do a listening tour, and then go meet with customers to really understand what's happening in that organization. So we want to welcome you, make that quick announcement. And so many things are happening. A good member of our senior leadership team will be at Microsoft Ignite. We're in the countdown for Microsoft Ignite. So many meetings on my calendar, reviewing the content, making sure it's perfect, making sure all the dots connect across our technical storytelling. We really want this to be a fantastic event. And if you couldn't get a ticket to join us in person in Chicago, I'm happy to say that we are doing even more for the digital version of the show. I get to be one of the hosts again, so I'm very excited about that. But what I'm more excited about is the fact that we've brought even more interviews to you on the digital show with these senior leadership members. I get to interview Rajesh Jha, who is the leader of Experiences and Devices, my own division, which is going to be fantastic. And there's just so much that happens actually on our stage that we build into in between all the amazing sessions that you'll be able to watch. So there's sessions that are happening live, including the keynote on Tuesday morning. And then there's lots of on-demand sessions and the breakouts as they happen, we put into the catalog. So it's really a global event for everyone. And we hope that you will join us there. My team is going to be there. I'm so excited. Heather and Jesse and Brian and Lori Popmeyer will be there doing expert meetups and in the community space. So make sure to swing by and say hello. I might even do a great little fun meet and greet with some other folks like Jeff Teper there as well. So you can come get your picture taken with him. And we're doing so much to make sure that it's fun for you. So join us for Microsoft Ignite. We can't wait for that to happen. Woo! We're going to be in Chicago, Heather. That's your hometown.
I know. I am super duper excited about getting back to Chicago once again. There's been a lot of Chicago this year, which has been really fun.
Yes, there has been.
I know. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Yeah, and
I'm getting out my coat because I know it's going to be chilly.
Gonna be chilly for sure. Yeah, and we will have a blog coming out this week about all things what's going on in the Microsoft Community Hub. So watch out for that. That'll be on our news desk on the Microsoft Tech community. So it'll tell you not just about modern work. We have a lot of wonderful things going on there for M365, but also all across our community. We have put together a coalition of community leads across all products and in the MVP team. It's going to be awesome. The global AI community team, Azure, Power Platform, all of us have come together and we're working on a community hub all together where we'll have tables, community little forum session conversations. There's going to be a big heat map where you can go see where your community is. It's going to be super cool. We're really excited about it. And a blog with all things will be coming out this week. So you can check that out soon. So that'll be great. Yeah. It's awesome.
That is fantastic.
Absolutely. Another big rock that came out this week that's really important was from our Microsoft Threat Intelligence arena. And they have observed a Russian threat actor, Midnight Blizzard, who is sending a series of highly targeted spear phishing emails to individuals in governments, academia, defense, non-governmental organizations, and other sectors. The activity is ongoing, and Microsoft is going to continue to investigate and provide updates as available. But based on Microsoft's investigation of previous Midnight Blizzard spear phishing campaigns, the goal of the operation is likely intelligence collection. So there's a very detailed blog here about this, and please be vigilant and also let your folks know at your companies that this is happening. So it's a really good blog post that goes into detail there. And I think we then have some, in case you missed it, what's going on in a couple of different areas with Copilots that Karuana is going to tell us about.
Yes, absolutely. Well, what's so important is understanding the real business value you can get from generative AI. We're kind of beyond the beginning of an emerging service where it's like, oh, what's this? Now it's like, okay, what's this? And what can I actually do with it for my business? And in case you missed it, people are improving these business processes constantly. And a case in point is PetsAtHome. That is the UK's biggest pet care company. Of course, I would love this story to be able to bring to you. And what they've done is they've created a platform in Azure that unites data from various operations, the website, their veterinary operations, and what have you, with the power of AI, right? And PetsAtHome is an early adopter of Microsoft Copilot Studio. So if you remember our little model, right? You learn about Microsoft, you learn about Copilots, you understand it in Microsoft 365, and when you get ready to do your own work, you move to Copilot Studio, our fantastic tool, which is good for low code and no code as well as this sort of a scenario. But in Copilot Studio, businesses can create AI agents to act in support of different areas of the business, right? It coincides with our announcement on October 21st of the ability to create autonomous agents to help build capacity for every sales, service, finance, and supply chain team. So we have a link to that blog. If you didn't see that announcement, make sure that you go and take a look. So with the early access to agent building features in Copilot Studio, PetsAtHome created an agent to help its retail fraud detection team investigate suspicious transactions. The company is planning on creating other agents to assist its colleagues in other areas. But this is important, right? I mean, the fraud detection team in most organizations has a finite limit number of personnel. But as Heather was just reporting about bad actors in the world, they exist. And there's lots of them, and they keep, becoming a greater threat to most organizations. So being able to use an independent agent to investigate transactions and bring those alerts to the fraud team is a fantastic use case for generative AI. So online sales, loyalty programs, and vet practices, all those things were separated. And so William Hewish, who took the job as the Chief Information Officer in 2019, he really wanted to bring those things together. So he saw an opportunity, he said, to build a platform that stretched across our omni-channel business, joining our stores and our website with our apps and veterinary practices. So what a fun job, right? This is a good job. I really would like this job. Just saying. I think that he's also seen the opportunity, and this is really shows you some maturity from a business leader standpoint. That he is seeing the opportunity to leverage technology on behalf of the business, right? He said giving vets and other colleagues more time to work with animals and their owners aligns with PetsAtHome's overall mission to create a better world for pets and the people who love them. I would be one of those people. So thank you, Pets at Home, for really leveraging Gen AI for that. And I hope that gives all of you some inspiration about ways in which autonomous agents and Copilot in general can definitely help you land those business objectives. It's just a good story, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things happening in the world. And I love this show because we get to report on the good, right?
Yep.
And that's hashtag good news.
Yeah, I was like, dog mom over here. I was so excited when I saw this story. I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. So yeah.
I do. I'm a total dog mom. We should probably put that like on my forehead. There should be a graphic on screen with my dog mom hat.
Yeah, super good. And I love what you said, the use cases and where we're at in this journey, right? Like if you strip out the fact that it's amazing pets and dogs and all of that for this, business, but any business can leverage these things, right? So it's just scenarios, right? So yeah, super cool. Speaking of, generative AI and looking at, our data centers, which power all of that stuff. A new story came out about how we're looking at sustainability. We are building some of these first data centers with super strong ultralight wood in a bid to really slash the use of steel and concrete, which are the most significant sources of carbon emissions. So a wood data center, it sounds sort of old-fashioned. You're like, what? Why are you building it out of wood? But it's not really improbable. Microsoft engineers have developed this hybrid approach using cross-laminated timber, or what's called TLC. It's a fire-resistant prefab wood material that enables a company to reduce the use of steel and concrete. So the hybrid mass timber, steel, and concrete construction model is really estimated to significantly reduce the embodied carbon footprint of 2 new data centers by 35%. Compared to the conventional steel construction, and then 65% compared to typical precast concrete. So kind of getting in the weeds a little bit, but it's really important because those reductions are really important to our overall world, right? So Microsoft's hybrid data centers are really the latest example of how we're working to decarbonize data center and construction operations. In 2020, Microsoft unveiled ambitious sustainability goals. By 2030, we would be carbon negative, meaning that we would take more carbon out of the atmosphere than we emit. And then by 2050, removing the atmosphere equivalent of all the carbon the company has emitted since its founding in 1975. Those are big, huge numbers and goals to attain. And this is definitely a story that is sharing that we're working towards those numbers, which is really exciting. So I know Karuana has got some product news for us that's really exciting too, some announcements that were just made in the Teams arena. So.
Oh, Teams is so close to my heart. But that story, though, I hope people get that our commitment to sustainability, you can see our sustainability report, is a real thing. And we're having to innovate to get there, right? It makes me feel good that we're doing things that hopefully other industries and other businesses can use as they also lean in to reduce and reverse their carbon impact, which I just think is great. So makes me happy. More good news, Heather. More good news.
Good news. Yes.
Well, I have good news over in the Microsoft Teams world. Microsoft Teams has released its Streamline collaboration experience with the new chat and channels experience. And I have to tell you something, all of you who have been following me for all this time, you know that Teams was the center of my universe for a long time. And I was there when we launched this product. This is such a major update to your Teams experience that you are going to love. Right, you're going to love the ability to integrate chats and channels together in your own sections. Plus, there's so many cool ways that you can adjust that. It's a bit of a moment where you have to really think about how you work. But I'm going to have some special content for you that's going to help you over that hump. They've redesigned the chat and channels experience specifically to simplify your digital workspace. We've heard customers' feedback about, notification overwhelm and where did I put that chat and what have you. And so it's important to note that being able to integrate the channels that you work in alongside the chats with the people you work with in a particular section in that left rail. Oh my goodness. So this is in public preview now, and it's going to be rolling to a tenant near you if you're in public preview, and to the rest of the broader world in early 2025. So we have some materials for you, of course. You can find them at the bottom of the blog post. And I had a wonderful opportunity to do a Meet the Makers interview with the folks behind this change. And I hope that you take a minute to really understand how the team's product leadership team is thinking about this on a go-forward basis, because it's all about faster, simpler, and a smarter Microsoft Teams. You're going to hear that a lot. But that's the dedication of the team, being able to, now that we're on the new Teams platform, being able to iterate and build some new capabilities based on people's feedback on the customers. So also, the new At Mentions view really helps you. I love this view. I go to this view all the time. It really helps you stay up to date. So I can go directly to a view, even on mobile. This all exists on mobile as well. That just shows where people have at mentioned me, right? If somebody actually at mentions me, they probably really need my attention. So I do make an effort to go through there. But wait until you see also our top tips for the new Microsoft Teams and new Chat and Channels series that's going to come out on Coffee in the Cloud. So lots of great things happening from Microsoft Teams, and the ability to let you catch up quickly, find what you need, and then leverage things like Copilot to have it be a smarter experience. So I couldn't be more excited. Big shout out to the team there. Please go check out that blog from Jeff Teper, president of Collaborative Apps and Platforms, and check out our interview and resources that'll help you understand what that new Chat and Channels experience is going to be like. It is important that you get ready for it. It's a fantastic change, but it feels kind of big to users as they're going through the process, to business users. So you want to use our materials and help them on with that transition. One of the other things is that a new study posted by Brenna Robinson, who is the GM for Microsoft 365 Small and Medium Business, shares that Microsoft 365 Copilot drove up to 353% return on investment for small to medium businesses, right? If you have a smaller organization, you have all of the pain points of a large one, but maybe not all of the staff. You need AI to help you be competitive and scale. And the Forrester report really talks about that. So again, this is about inspiration. How can you use generative AI in your world, in your business, in ways that are meaningful to you? So definitely go and check out that Total Economic Impact report. In our small SMB community call recently, we just did a review of that. So you can go and watch that on demand if you'd like. But just go and check out the report and the blog, and that'll help you really understand how small businesses are using AI to compete. It's fantastic stuff. And now I want to bring on our guest host for our security spotlight, Virginia Bryant. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so glad to be back with you. I'm also loving all of these great tips. I really like the new Teams Chat and Channels experience myself. I find it's so much easier to figure out what I actually need to prioritize and where I need to respond and where people are calling for me, and just keep things grouped in a way that's more it works with my brain. It just works better.
Right. It's just, and that's the thing, you can customize it to how you work and the way you think. Like I have a whole section that's like bosses. All the people I need to make sure to not drop the ball on, right?
Respond immediately.
Right, exactly. My team is first, but then my bosses are there and I can just know what's happening. So what's happening in the security world, Virginia?
Yes. Well, first of all, hi, everyone, wherever you are in whatever time zone you're in. I am Virginia Bryant, and I am joining from the Microsoft security team. Today, I'm really here to share the highlights from our newest Microsoft Digital Defense Report. Our 2024 edition is out now. And this report is really a valuable resource for understanding the security landscape. It's a comprehensive look at the evolving cybersecurity landscape, the emerging threats, and what they mean for organizations around the world who are trying to maintain their security posture. So it's an annual report that's drawing on Microsoft's unique insights from trillions of security signals and expertise from our tens of thousands of global security researchers, threat intelligence analysts, and data scientists who really study this day in and day out and are following threat actors to make sure that we can stay safe as an industry. So the report is going to cover some key areas, including the rise in nation state activity, cybercrime trends and what's sort of newest on the horizon, and new forms of cyber threats all up. And it's going to also provide you with actionable recommendations so that you can, use this data and these insights to help protect your organization and your people in this rapidly changing environment. This year, because of how critical it is, we've added deeper insights into artificial intelligence's role in both defending and attacking systems, showcasing real world use cases and responses. So, ultimately, our goal is to empower security leaders with the knowledge and the tools that they need to stay ahead and safeguard their organizations and their communities. So I encourage you to dive into the report, really take time to understand the threat landscape and how Microsoft is helping to create a safer digital world for everyone.
Right on. Thank you, Virginia. That report sounds awesome, detailed, and ready to read. So
it's out there. Enjoy it. I mean, it's serious stuff, but it's good to know. You have to understand the landscape so that you can be proactive and you can stay ahead. And so it's really excellent to have that resource for our teams.
Yeah, that's awesome.
One of the cool things about those reports too is you can download them, right? And then you can have a screen reader read it to you. You can, there's plenty of podcasts and other things that also dive into the report and really help break it down for you. So however you like to consume the information, I love that it's out there and I can understand it because I don't do that particular work every day. So I'm just as much a consumer of that report as anybody else. And it helps me feel smarter and know what's going on out there. I can have empathy for my CISO leaders and my security friends by getting educated.
Absolutely. And security is everybody's responsibility, not just your CISO and your security team. So definitely take the time to check it out. And thanks so much for having me and letting me share this with the community.
Absolutely, Virginia. Thank you for being here. It's so awesome to have you as our spotlight. Yay. All right, cool. Well, we're going to jump into some business applications and Dynamics 365 and Fabric info here for a minute. We have got the business applications team. They just launched their 2024 Release Wave 2 for Dynamics 365 and Microsoft Power Platform and role-based Microsoft Copilot offerings. So there's a rollout of new features, enhanced capabilities, which is being released between October 2024 and March 2025. So you can plan your days and weeks ahead and see what's going on in those arenas. You can catch all the highlights and demos from the business application launch event, lots of features and lots of use cases from companies like Lincoln Company, Lifetime Products, Stone Ridge Software, AIS, and Schneider Electric. So you can check that out at the blog post down there below by Ryan Martin, who's our other community lead that we work with all the time. Shout out to Ryan. And then there's another really fun podcast that's out. It's a series with Scott Hanselman and Mark Rasinovich. They have teamed up for Scott and Mark Learn To, their new podcast. Episode 3 is out, and they discuss how they're using AI in coding and other tasks, how to view and address risks of AI like hallucinations and prompt injections in enterprise scenarios. So definitely go check out, bookmark and subscribe and all of that to their new podcast that's out today. And it's been episode 3. So really exciting and brand spanking new. So Microsoft Fabric, they do those 2 main posts every month, and they are ready for you from October. The Fabric October 2024 monthly product and feature news was put up by Patrick LeBlanc. There's a couple of really cool things about certifications and hackathons that are on the docket there that you should check out. And then Remerit from that team always puts up the Fabric Influencer Spotlight that's shining a really bright light on all the places on the internet where Microsoft MVPs and Fabric super users are doing amazing work on Fabric. So that takes us into community and events. My goodness, it is another busy month, and we're going to ride that train all the way into December, the end of the year. As you can see, my goodness, October community events. This is what just happened. So that is amazing in the last couple of weeks. All over the world, as you can see, what's been going on. All of these are listed on communitydays.org. So communitydays.org is your one-stop shop for all community events at Microsoft that the community is putting on. We list free events and both paid events, and this is the past community free events that happened in October. So we'll take you to what's coming up in the next slide here is November. Again, oh my goodness, look at that list. There are things going on all over the world, in Germany, in Belgium, in Orlando, in Dayton, Ohio, in Monaco, in Budapest, in Oslo. There's those wonderful collab days events that are put on. All of these events, for the most part, are free one-day events that are happening either at Microsoft offices or other places that our community members, like our Microsoft MVPs, our regional directors, our user group leaders, are putting on, volunteering, getting sponsors together, putting speakers together, and putting on these amazing technical skilling events. It is so cool to see all this activity all over the world. And also, we have a few paid events. That means you have to go register and pay a fee to go. We've got a few of those coming up. Munich, TechCon Dallas is coming up. We've got a bunch of folks from our team, Mark Cashman and Josh, who are doing the keynote there in Dallas, Texas. That's a great event. The AIM Forum Europe is happening in Manchester. And then a bunch of us from the team, Karuana is keynoting, and Jeff Teper at the European SharePoint Conference coming up in Stockholm, Sweden. So just a plethora of choices and things that you can go check out for free. Some of them are also virtual. We have listings. It'll say free or paid or virtual or hybrid. So you can check those things out on the site as well. If you are an event producer and you haven't listed your event, please do. CommunityDays.org is the place. Calls for speakers, calls for content, calls for sponsors, all of those good things are up on CommunityDays.org. And so we want you to definitely check it out and be a part of that community that is listing their events out there for everyone, which is awesome. Also, one more thing, Run Events. It's a great company out of Europe. They put together a event platform that is awesome for folks to use. And we are now pulling information from Run Events about speakers into the CommunityDays.org system, as well as the Collab Days events, automatically or automagically showing up in CommunityDays.org. So a big thank you to Run for their partnership and all the folks over there who work on that wonderful app. Flagship events. One more shout out for Ignite. Karuana, you want to come back on here?
Yes, I do. First, I want to say, wow, what amazing work you and the team have done on CommunityDays.org to add all those new features into the platform so people can find this content and list it and really use it as the hub for their events. Because, oh my goodness, there's so many that are happening. Really, really exciting. And the Run Events work is just great.
Yeah. And, one more thing as well to add is that, always a shout out to Tom Daly, a shout out to our Microsoft Global Community Initiative QAers, our quality assurance folks. So everybody volunteers to help, really check things for that site. We also just recently moved our general session for the MGCI onto our community learning YouTube channel. So we did that for the first time last month, and we're moving it again. So it's staying. And so we've moved it because of Ignite to November 12th. And so we will have that coming up next week, our general session on our YouTube channel and also on the Microsoft Tech community in that area as well. So excited to hopefully broadcast a little bit more so more people can take advantage. And we're doing it twice, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on the 12th. So excited for that. Yeah.
That is fantastic. Yeah, I know. I mean, really having these new event pages and the capabilities in the Microsoft Tech community is just a lot of fun. And hopefully we can reach more people and bring them into the fam, right? We're all friends in the fam.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, of course, we're going to be at Microsoft Ignite, but we're going to be other places in the upcoming month as well. TechCon Dallas. Of course, Microsoft Ignite, the AI Tour Toronto, and I'm very excited to be going to ESPC in Copenhagen in December. Jeff's going to give a fantastic keynote there, and I get to be on stage too. Yeah, Heather, what?
Stockholm, Sweden, not
Stockholm, Sweden. Sorry, Copenhagen. I keep saying Copenhagen, and it's Stockholm this year. I just really need to get that in. I don't know, but all I know is I'm getting on a plane the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, and I'm going somewhere, and there's going to be awesome community there, and I'm going to get to learn from people and also give a couple presentations. So that's what I know for sure.
Yeah, and you're going to bring a coat, just like Chicago. So it's all good.
Yes, I'm going to bring a coat because last year I actually left my coat in the car. My husband dropped me off, and of course I was coming from Arizona, and so obviously I didn't need to be wearing that coat, and so I left it there. And I have a few clothes, and so the fact that I had to buy a coat over there was so ridiculous. especially given the fact that most places I'm in now are in a temperate climate. So I didn't really need another big heavy coat, but I did. And I did it because there I definitely needed it. So thank you for that. Where am I going? Where's Karuana? She doesn't know.
In that way, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you for watching another episode of Mondays at Microsoft. Make sure you share our show page, share it with your friends and colleagues, download the ICS so you never miss us. Occasionally we adjust our dates for a big event. And we'll always tell you all about that. But we're really excited to have you here, and use the blog post as a reference because we have all those links listed out for you so that you can go and get the report on the phishing attack. You can see the security report, all the great blogs that Heather mentioned from that space. And I'm really excited to go watch that Scott Hanselman and Mark Rusinovich podcast, that show. I think that's going to be great. So
yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Yeah, so come back on the 18th, and we'll have a new show.
Back. We'll be here on the 18th. Absolutely, very exciting kickoff show there. So we'll be shouting out, talking about Ignite and everything else that is happening in the Microsoft ecosystem. Thank you again. Thank you, Heather. We'll see you all very soon.
Absolutely. See you later. Have a great day.